They just love you, man.
What would you say kind of was that switch in your mindset?
I think it's knowing that you took away from that community. We're using fear to sort of manipulate and control people. So therefore, how people speak to you, you're not realizing that that's not even a real interaction.
What would you say to the mandem that they feel like it's not right, they don't believe in it, or why would we marry these women?
I would definitely advise the brothers, if you're with a woman, you've been here for a while, you're saying that's your person, that's your heart, that's your rib, marry her, bro.
I mean, you've dropped like diss tracks and stuff, haven't you?
Have I dropped diss tracks?
Well, you had is it with Joe Black?
Oh, those aren't diss tracks. That's a sport. We was just going back and forth.
You have been in a few beefs and stuff, and I feel like it would be good if you wrote music about it. Maybe do you think if you wrote something, would you like respond lyrically?
No.
A certain person wants to have a physical alteration.
That's over and done with as well.
So you guys are cool now?
I'm cool with everybody. The mental reality of what you're in. You know, you're living like an animal, essentially. You're in a cell where you can touch every wall. You sleep where you use the toilet. Slide things for underneath your door. Like you're inhumane, you're just a number. No one cares.
Hi guys, it's your girl Esther. Oh yay. Yeah guys, you're gonna have to get used to it, because usually I say it's your girl Esther, but it's Esther Oh yay now. Let me know what you think about that. But anyways guys, welcome to the Esther show. And guys, I've got a treat for you. Not the one and only VicSantoro. Why are you there laughing?
Because everyone thinks my name is short for Victor. It's not actually Victor.
Is it not?
No, it's not.
What is it?
It's Vic.
Vic? Is it? I swear, when I've been... Oh.
Nah, it's just Vic, yeah.
So it's just Vic?
Yeah. People, I think for years...
So it's not shortened for anything?
Nothing. I think my whole life, everyone's always thought, but I thought your name was Victor. It's like, nah, bro, my name's not Victor.
That's mad, you know?
Yeah.
Because when I was doing my research, I was typing Victor, and it was like... It was basically gaslighting me to think it is Victor.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Well, guys, I've got VicSantoro here with me.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's better.
Is that better? Yeah, now I know, and now everybody knows. Yeah. Don't get it twisted.
It's not short for Victor, guys.
And it's not Victoria
either. Yeah. No, nothing. Just Vic. Nothing else, yeah?
Yeah, I love that. Well, obviously, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
And do you know what I really liked? You said before, you said you came here because you wanted to support the sisters.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think obviously it's needed, and I think it's needed. I think the creative space, the content space is like male dominated. And it's kind of just good to, you know, see some of the sisters doing their thing. So like I said, when I saw the thing, I was like, you know what, alright, cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll definitely support.
Oh, thank you. And you saying that he was rejecting quite a few people. But
yeah.
It's like, it's the Esther show, that's what is going to come on.
You get what I'm saying?
Because the Esther show is the show that everybody needs to come on.
So your surname, what's that? Is that Nigerian, Ghanaian?
Oh, Yenny is Nigerian.
Nigerian, okay.
Yeah, cool. You're Cameroonian, aren't you?
Neighbours, you see it? So a little bit of like history. Cameroon and Nigeria used to be one country. Pre-colonization. It was obviously colonized by the French and the English. It wasn't even called Cameroon or Nigeria.
Oh.
It was just one place. So when the colonizers are leaving, through the divide, that's how there was the Cameroon and the Nigeria. So Cameroon is a bilingual country. So 80% French, 20% English. Wow. The 20% English, they were actually just supposed to join with Nigeria, what's Nigeria now, and be Nigeria, and Cameroon could have been fully French.
Okay.
But some of the tribes from that region, they were English tribes, and they were just like, well, no, we're not giving up sort of our language, etc. So that's how you got Cameroon and Nigeria. And then down the line, we had a civil war because the border between Cameroon and Nigeria, oil was discovered at the border years later. So there was a dispute about who has ownership to the oil. Was that
Cameroon?
Cameroon and Nigeria, they were sort of disputing it. They had a little, you know, back and forth. Oh, not so little, it was kind of like a mini war. And then it went to the international courts, and then it was ruled that obviously where the oil was found belongs to Cameroon, and obviously it was civil. But Nigeria and Cameroon, basically, I can ride a bicycle from Cameroon to Nigeria.
That's interesting.
It's literally just
Oh, wow. I love how you're quite historically informed. I don't think people will see that side to you, which is quite nice.
yeah. Well, people see what they want to see in it.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
I love
I love it. I
that.
love history. I'm a student of history because
Yeah.
without that, you know, how do you know how you're going to place yourself? I just love history. I love the stories. I love, you know, especially African history.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
think over here in the schools, they don't teach it.
Of
So we have
course.
to
We
go,
definitely don't learn enough about Black history.
trust me, you have a beautiful, Nigeria has a beautiful history,
I know.
you know, from the tribes, the languages. So there's this, I mean, look at West Africa. I mean, Africa as a whole anyway, just definitely
Yeah,
research Africa because they try to keep us, you know,
of
from really looking
course.
too close. You get what I'm saying to you? But they teach us about, you know, European history all
Hmm.
through school,
Yeah.
and African history is put to the back.
Yeah. I mean,
So
big up Ibrahim Traore.
big him up
He
always.
is
Big
really
up Ibrahim
doing
Traore,
a
definitely.
lot in Africa to
Mhm.
really kind of change the narrative of
Yeah.
this idea that Africa is poor, and he's really been just educating people.
Do you understand his plight though?
Yeah.
What do you understand from his plight?
Um, I understand that he's trying to basically kick out neocolonialism
Mhm.
and really actually allow African leaders to actually be able to control their people without Western influence,
Mhm.
like disrupting things. Because that's what we have a lot in like Congo. What they'll do, well, that's what we've been told and we've heard around. It is a conspiracy, but I believe it's correct to an
Mhm.
extent, where like if the Westerners want certain resources,
Mhm.
they'll like fund rebels
Mhm.
just to kind of cause chaos in the country, and then they like the community don't end up focusing on the important resources because they're too busy fighting wars. And this is something that Ibrahim Traore has done really well, because the first thing he did when he had a coup, didn't he? That's how he got into power. He actually just kind of kick all the French um leader, anyone that all the French people that were controlling the mines and all that stuff. He basically kind of just
Mhm.
took them out of the picture and said, you know what, we want to run the mines, we want to control our resources, which they weren't too happy about. But yeah, did you want to add to?
Yeah, no, what you're saying is completely right. And I think just to add to that, I think the idea with the kicking out the colonizers is because
I love
when
how you call them straight
yeah,
colonizer.
yeah.
I was trying to dance around it.
No,
You're
no,
like
no.
colonizer.
The colonizers. What the colonizers did was when they left Africa, they made a lot of the leaders at the time sign these unfair treaties
Mm,
to say, you know, we're gonna. It's like signing a contract saying we're gonna take 70-80% of resources for the next 500 years or for the next
mm.
1,000 years. And because when people like are subjugated and like and oppressed, they just want the oppressors to be gone. So
Yeah.
sometimes
Sorry. To add to that, what you've literally just said, I need to add, because when you spoke about treaties, did you guys know about the Pelindaba Treaty?
well educated.
So this treaty is basically has been passed by the Westerners in Africa, basically saying that they're not allowed to have nuclear weapons. Do you not think that that's crazy?
That and that's a prime example.
Yeah, so they made Africa a nuclear weapon-free zone.
Zone, yeah.
That means they can never fight for themselves.
So
But
it's
yeah,
like
sorry,
so the
continue.
idea is that they, you know, a lot of when the colonizers left, they made leaders sign treaties to give
Mm,
over to all the natural resources. That's
mm,
why if you looked around Africa, for example, what Ibrahim Traore is talking about, like the mines is controlled by the West Indies,
of
because that was
course.
part of the plight that we're gonna leave your continent, but we're gonna keep hold of the natural resources that you can use
Mm,
to empower yourself. And then you're gonna have to just run through us. And after a while, so obviously with the new mines and there's an awakening, by the way, going
mm.
on. It's like someone like
A revolution.
Ibrahim Traore, like he's part of the awakening. It's kind of like, hold on, that don't make no sense. It's never made
Mm,
sense. It's like, how do we then suffer or unable to then sort of like look after ourselves because you guys are taking all the natural resources? So
mm.
where is the independence? You see, like a lot of countries celebrate Independence Day. It's like,
But it's not really
have you really got
independence.
independence, or
Yeah,
is the colonizer still got
yeah.
the foot on your neck? So, and I think there is an awakening, and people have had enough of that because
Mm,
naturally that's why us as diasporas, which is, you know, we're growing up in the West, it's like without educating yourself of African history or the knowledge,
mm.
you're gonna get taught something completely different, and you're
Yeah.
gonna go through life not even knowing, understanding where you're from,
Mm,
and then you pass that on to your children. They pass it on to their
mm.
children. So 3 generations down the line,
Of course.
they're the lost children of Africa,
Yeah.
and that's the system that has gone on over the years. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah. And even you talking about um we not knowing about our history, and even like Africans don't know about the history. I was obviously I'm Yoruba, from the tribe of Yoruba in
Very
Nigeria,
strong tribe.
and I'm only finding out about the Benin the Benin people.
Oh, so
And how, I only found out recently and how kind of intelligent they were. The Benin Wall, I did not know. Like, when the historians describe it, they're like, we've never had literally an artifact that has been built just by normal people like that.
Yeah, that's
in history.
And these are the things
that wasn't even with technology. That was them just building stuff with no technology.
Motherland.
It's so mind-blowing. But obviously, if anybody knows about the Benin Wall, it was actually destroyed by the Westerners when they colonized Africa. But the fact that I didn't know that really blew my mind, because the history they tried to sell to us is slavery, racism, colonization. That's all they tried to sell to us. What they won't tell us is that
they won't tell you come from royalty.
Do you know what I mean?
They're not going to tell you that you come from royalty.
The Benin King, what?
You come from royalty.
Royalty, as in intelligent.
Yeah.
So much resources. Like, so, no, I think it's so important that you really say that, and how we really need to educate ourselves.
Yeah, it's very important, man. I think and I think it's an amazing to see an awakening. I probably thought it wouldn't happen. But it's good to see it. And hopefully a lot of the Western Africans get involved as well with the initiatives and use all this Western knowledge we've acquired over the years of being over here, and maybe pour some of it back into the continent and try and, evolve. But
Oh, I love that. That was a nice little star. Like, I love how wholesome you are, because I just didn't really see that side to you.
That's the side they're trying to show you what they want you to see. That's showbiz. They're gonna show that this is not the high vibration. No one wants, they don't want to see that. They want to see, they prefer to present the low vibration, linking back to what we said. It's about how human beings work. It's easy to put Africa on the TV as people starving kids and, but Africa's a beautiful continent. We have beautiful beaches. Like, yes, there's poverty. Poverty is everywhere in the world. There is rich people, but Africa's got amazing architecture, history, knowledge, and things like that. So when you relate that to, I think it's just how people take information in. So even with myself, you will have, I might do 99 amazing things. That's high vibrational. They will never sort of present that. And if there's something happens that's low vibrational, they're gonna blow that up and make that the headline. And then it can lead someone to not even know that actually there's a lot of wholesomeness there that I'm not aware of.
And I think it's only recently that I've started going back home to and it's really been so eye-opening for me, because I guess even being African, obviously it's not just huts and all that, but you sort of buy into the propaganda, don't you, without realizing. Because when I was back in Nigeria,
lit in it.
What?
You said lit in it.
They are living life.
Lit.
They're in mansion. Bro, we're suffering here.
High ceilings, 2 doors,
Because they have space. They have landscape that we don't have. So it's like, guys, don't buy into this idea that they're suffering out there. They're living way better than us out there.
Africa's lit.
And even in Ghana as well. I went to Ghana.
Lit.
I feel like I want to do a tour of Africa now.
Yeah, you should definitely do it.
Yeah, definitely. I think Burkina Faso, I will be there.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see what Ibrahim Traore is really doing with the country. So I will be there.
Yeah, come on, man. Travel moment, that's good, man. That's good.
Of course. But let's talk about Lewisham. Obviously, why are you laughing? Because obviously you are from Lewisham.
Yeah, I'm from Lewisham. Yeah.
So you still live in Lewisham?
No, that's still live in Lewisham.
Oh, is it? No. You just kind of move out ends.
Yeah, I don't live in Lewisham. I haven't lived in Lewisham for years, but I think I try to still run initiative. They say in order to know where you're going, you have to remember where you come from. So I still try to do what I can, initiative and resources wise. But
Okay.
But I've been living in Lewisham for years.
Is it?
Yeah.
But what was it like growing up in Lewisham?
So Lewisham is a very heavy Caribbean community. So coming here from Africa in the late 90s, it was very it was something to adapt to, because what happens with the government is, like, especially with immigration and refugees, they put you in demographics. They might put the Africans over there, put the West Indians over there, put Asians over there. So like it was very segregated, and Lewisham is heavily Caribbean infused. So and a lot from like the Windrush generation. So there is like second, third generation, in British Caribbeans. So that's how Lewisham was kind of like. Being an African kid amongst that took some maneuvering. But it was very, I think it would be similar in most areas where you've got refugees and immigrants and everybody sort of living together. I think it would have been similar. So it wasn't I wouldn't want to, you know, say...
Because you're African,
Yeah,
so
I'm African.
obviously being in a Caribbean setting, especially back when being
Yeah,
African...
when they used to laugh at the accent,
Do you get
when they used to make
it?
fun, because they were just sucked into the Oxfam advert. So you got to imagine, I
Yeah.
came here from Africa and I saw like kids in school, like, you know, it's like, let's make fun of the African child and it, like, or the African kid. And it's like, I used to think, what's the fun based on? And then when I started seeing the adverts, I'm like, oh snap, they think this is what Africa is, you know. But luckily, it's
they
like...
used to call us African booty scratchers,
and all of that, boo-boos, this, that, food. Because but again, here's the thing about it. But really, when you break it down, it's because they didn't understand the culture. You know, when you've been indoctrinated to see something as a certain way, you might be inclined to think that's how it is. Do you get what I'm saying? Until you gain information for yourself. So I understood it even then that they obviously don't know that, you know, like, Africa is a beautiful continent. But then how can they know when the adverts on the TV? This is before social media, remember? So everything you saw was on TV. TV was just everything.
Yeah. But was there a divide with Africans and Caribbeans living in Lewisham?
There wasn't a divide, I would say, but there was a separation. I know, I'm being a politician,
It is not a minus, it is a subtraction. Think about it.
Yeah, there wasn't a divide, but there was a separation.
Right, okay.
Because, you know, it's simple things, you know, you'd have your Jamaican friend would tell him, don't roll with them, the African, you know, like, that was like a thing. Oh, we don't eat that, that's what Africans eat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we don't, oh yeah, your house, because, you know, African homes, we cook, we come from wholesome, you know, food is like, and before with the lack of understanding of certain, you know, sort of like food, it's like, oh, the house smells, African people's house smells. Yeah, but really it was a lack of understanding. And
I think I listened to someone's track recently, I don't know who it was, and it was like, dating my Ghanaian thing, she's cooking me that Ghanaian thing, but I don't eat that shit. And I was like, raw, we're still doing that in 2025. That's mad, you know.
But yeah, it's very and I think, it was just, council estates are council estates, isn't it? Like, growing up in council estates, the experience is pretty much similar no matter where you are in the country.
Yeah.
So I would like to think, growing up in Lewisham, those similarities were there. And also I was here without my parents. So I was just, it took longer to sort of learn, or you had to learn from mistakes and stuff like that. But yeah, it was an experience, so to speak. Yeah.
Okay. Well, just starting this whole conversation with you, I've already kind of realized that you are just like very different to what has been perceived online and stuff. So like, what would you say is like the biggest misconception about you?
I would say the biggest if I had to pick one, the biggest misconception is, it's hard to say, because here's the thing about it, right? You got to look at it like this. I try not to personalize some of the perspectives, a lot of the perspectives, most of it, because ideally it's people that don't know who I am in person, people that haven't sat down like this and had a conversation with me.
Right.
So naturally, how the entertainment industry work, there's a formula, which is nobody cares about the truth because the lie is more entertaining.
That is so true. That is very true.
So the moment you accept that, you have to accept that the truths about you might not be what gets plastered in the headline. However, it's not like all gloomy. It's like,
and nobody actually cares about the truth.
Nobody cares. They just want to be entertained. Just entertain me.
That is, because I've been experiencing that recently with social media, where I've been just getting involved, not willingly, because I don't like drama, but I've been dragged into drama. And then I'll clock, like, why people are coming for me. It's not because of what I said. It's what they think I've said, or maybe what someone said. And it's like, but that's not, why are you dragging me for this? You know what I mean?
But sometimes you remind people, like, your light, like, irritates their darkness, isn't it? So it's like, and that's a natural thing, light against darkness.
Yeah.
So for someone like me, you know, in the earlier stages of my career, it's like, what do you mean? What's going on? But now I understand that it's the entertainment industry. People want to be entertained, and the lie is the most entertaining thing, you know, running. You know, you can run with anyone can put a camera on now, run with a lie. I bet you can say a lie, the craziest lie, viral. Because, you know, and you can say the maddest truth, nobody wants to hear it. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? Because ultimately people are looking for a release.
Yeah.
So even if you look at blog pages, when they post like high vibrational content, it gets the least interaction because people want to release, they want to escape. So sometimes it's better to escape in a lie in someone's world and get caught up in that. I think for someone like yourself doing it from this side of the camera, just try to remember that it's like, A, don't take it personal, and B, no one really cares. They're just entertainment. And the key thing is these things don't transcend into real life. I don't go about my day to day and hear any of the things or deal with any ramifications from the internet.
Okay.
It's kind of like it only happens when I press on the app.
Right.
But once I come off the app, it's like it doesn't exist. Right. But you don't know that sometimes because when it's your brand, when it's you in it, you can start thinking it's
so
like consumed by it. You're like, this is so real. They just coming for me, but
I've experienced that. And it really affects your mental health. And that's all you're thinking about. But then it's like, you're right. And then you log off and you're like, this actually isn't real life.
Yeah.
But then you come back on it, everyone's coming for you. You're just like, what's going on? Yeah,
so for me, I think there is elements of my character that works well within the entertainment space.
Okay.
Which people want to latch onto. So they will be aware of all the other stuff that I do, but it doesn't fit what they need as entertainment. Okay. Do you get what I'm saying? And sometimes it's just good to see, people like to see a hero fall.
Okay.
There is a thing about human beings. It's like, you might watch the film and you might secretly root for the bad guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're a bad person. You might just secretly like how that villain's moving and be like, you know what? I want him to win. I want the hero to lose.
Okay.
And that's just human nature. So, but you can't take none of it personal. So in terms of misconceptions, I don't have anything specific. I just think being misconstrued is part of the game.
Right. Okay. I hear it.
So yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that. And also I've seen that you post your daughter a lot. So you're a girl dad.
Yeah, I got 2 girls.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got
so it's 2 of them. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I got 2 girls, I got older one and the younger one. Yeah.
Oh, how is that being a girl dad?
Scary.
Scary.
Scary. I was a young parent, so I think I probably made a lot of mistakes in my early years, especially with my oldest.
Oh, okay. How old were you?
Probably 17.
Oh, okay.
So it's like I was a young parent. So you don't realize you're a kid trying to raise a kid. You don't almost realize that type of thing. So it's probably difficult, but thank God, obviously all my kids are really close. And I think with my youngest daughter, she's just, what's so mad, yeah? I look at my kids and I'm just in awe, man. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, just never imagined. You get what I'm saying? Like, love, like, I don't know how to explain it. That pure, I even feel emotional thinking about it. I just sometimes look at them and they're like, what's wrong with you, Dad? It's like, yeah, man. It's like, don't even worry. You would like, I'm saying it's a blessing. So I'm learning every day. I'm, learning.
What is it that kind of makes you just want to tear up?
Because you know what it is? They just love you, man. They don't care about, you know what I'm saying to you? It's like the amount of love they show you, like it can never equate to what, anything else that's going on. And it's like being young and perhaps maybe not having the emotional intelligence to understand parenthood properly the right way. I probably made a lot of mistakes and probably let my kid down, in different ways when I was, young coming up. And it's like, I never had the emotional intelligence to really fully understand that, you brought a human being into the world. Like, it's like the creation of that is a blessing. The whole thing of it. So it's like, I'm so grateful that I get to sort of like maybe try and right some of my wrongs and just try and be a better person, evolve with them, and how all 3 of us, because I got 3 kids, I got 1 boy, 2 girls, and we are just like a band together. So it's like, and for me, I'm so grateful because I never grew up with my parents there.
Yeah.
Like the relationship I got with my kids, I never had with my parents. My dad passed away when I was young. And, my mom's a refugee like me, so she was trying to figure out stuff in the West. At the same time, I was trying to figure out stuff in the West. Okay. So just how I am, how I've been able to have a dynamic I got with my kids, for me, it's just like a blessing, man. It's just like every day I'm thankful of that. I wake up every day and that's like, yo, at least that's the purpose. Do you get it? So I think maybe that's what helps with like me being able to compartmentalize and switch off from things like social media rhetoric and stuff like that. Like I say,
you have things that actually matter.
Yeah, like because real life is actually it's completely
and you know what? I really just kind of wanted to touch on obviously you said that you didn't grow up with your parent,
Yeah.
your dad.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of, in our community, that is the rhetoric for a lot of us,
Mhm.
where we just didn't have a father there. But obviously you said like initially you made mistakes. Like
Yeah.
obviously growing up,
Mm.
you didn't kind of know how to
How to be a parent, yeah.
maneuver
Properly, yeah.
being a
Yeah.
parent. And I think maybe this is what a lot of black men, I would say, they struggle with being there for their children. Because if you look at statistics, when we talk about single motherhood,
Mm.
we have the highest single motherhood. And it really upsets me because I feel like we as a community, because we're the poorest community, we are the community that needs the most help. We need father figures in our homes
Facts.
because it makes a difference. There's a lot that women can do. We can do a lot. When you have both the mother and the father there, like making sure that kid is doing the homework, taking them for a training, like making sure they don't get into bad company. It's so important. And I think, I don't know who is at fault. Is it the women? Is it the men? Because I feel like the men probably don't step up as much as they should do. But it's also, like you said, maybe because they don't know how to step up, because they haven't had the father figures themselves. So now we just have more broken homes because now women are being left to kind of do it themselves, which is just such a sad phenomenon. So what would you say was the switch for you in regards for you to realize that, you know what, I'm not being as much of a good father that I should be, and now I want to be there more for my daughters and your son?
Yeah, because I went to prison when I was young.
Okay.
You know, the misconception is you say to yourself, I'm trying to get money, you know, trying to feed my family. And then it's like the action you're choosing to use to feed your family is actually more kind of productive to your family than actually having no money.
Yeah.
Because then when that goes left, now you can't do nothing for them.
Yeah.
And then you realize that your kids just want their dad to take them to the park.
Oh.
This is not about money. You get what I'm saying? This is about time. This is about quality time. I think sometimes because we come from a lack of, we want to overcompensate. And through that trying to overcompensate, we put ourselves under pressure and expectations that we can't meet. Then we end up just doing things and telling ourselves, no, I'm doing this because I need to get this. I need this specific thing. When really it's like kids just need love.
Yeah.
They
They don't remember you providing. Kids, they don't even know what money is.
Yeah, they want nurture and love and where one and now. So for me, I'm in prison. You know, and it's like, I'm thinking, like, damn, my kids, like, I've just, really, you've left them. You get what I'm trying to say to you, regardless of what you was doing prior. So I was in prison for, and that was what my driving force was like, I need to make it back home to these kids, like, in one piece. I need to make it back home to these kids in one piece. And it's like, once I get home, I need to make sure, it's like, how do you come from a broken home without your parents, and now you're in prison, your kids ain't got you? It's just like, it's kind of like a trauma, sort of like
and that's
continuity. It's like you're traumatizing them as well.
Yeah, if our generation don't break that curse, it's going to continue, because they're not going to have their fathers, and they're going to do, because if you can't emulate something you didn't see growing up.
Yeah, that's the one thing. You know, but now, fortunately, because of the internet, we've got so much sources of information, so much things that, you know, you can empower yourself with. But even back then, that information was out there. I take full accountability of not being proactive. You know, it's like, it's completely on me. So for me, that was a big thing, being in prison and being a parent. Like, seeing my kids for a prison visit or from behind a glass, it's heartbreaking. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just feel like you spent all that time being young, probably talking crap about your parents not doing A, B, C, or D. And look at you, seeing your kids from behind a glass. You had the cheek to talk about your parents. You know what I'm saying to you? So it's those type of things, those realities came to me. So it was just like, nah, man, I can't imagine my kids' lives without me in it.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, their mom's amazing, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, just like, especially like having a boy, I can't imagine my son without me.
Exactly.
That would be a scary. What my son says that to me himself. Like, my son's 14 and he's like, Dad,
this is what I will not let a man breed me until he marries me and I know he's gonna be there. Because I feel like men they see children as something they can walk away from and they can just not be there. Me, I need a man in my child's life.
Facts.
Like, and maybe it's because I didn't grow up. My dad was like married to my mom and stuff, but I didn't grow up kind of seeing him growing up because he lived in Nigeria. And I think that again has its impact on me, and I know what I went through. I was in a lot of unsafe situation because when you're young and a girl, you're dumb, you make stupid mistakes and not even think about it. And knowing what I put myself into, I think I'm never going to have a child come into a situation where like I don't have another man to make sure that he can support me, to make sure these kids don't go through the same situations that I went through.
It's like you said, trauma continuity. I mean, it's in our communities and it's kind of normalized, isn't it?
Right?
Like the continued trauma, it's normalized.
And do you know what annoys me? I have to talk about this. Why does our community, why do they get onto the women, the single mothers that stayed to take care of their children, than the fathers that are leaving these children with the mothers? Because surely to me, it makes more sense that the woman is sacrificing her whole life for these children, yet you want to say, oh, she shouldn't have opened her legs. I'm sorry, she made these children with another man. He's the deadbeat. Don't try to make her look like a bad guy for staying. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I think, it's mad, but I think I can only speak for myself. I try not to be judgmental when I talk. I just couldn't imagine, even fathom just not checking for my youths. I don't care if I have to move the sun and the moon, if I have to fight legally, if I have to, I'm on all smoke if it comes to being with my youths. It's like we're gonna do however we need to go about this.
Yeah.
So that's just my mentality. But again, a lot of it is like
that is a very matured and very rare actually.
But it's because I'm traumatized, probably. That's because I think part of it is because I'm traumatized.
What do you mean traumatized?
From not growing up without my parents.
Okay.
So it's like there's part of that, but there's the other part of it that is just like I know what it was like being a boy. I'm thinking, I wish my dad was a man. I know what it's like being a parent, even in there's no parents there for me. It's just like, okay, yeah, see you later. I know what it's like to just be out by yourself and feel like, bro, no one cares. Like, if I live or die, no one cares. If I've eaten today, nobody cares. If you know what I'm saying to you, there's a hole, it builds inside of you, you know, and that hole can turn into a hunger, which makes you thrive, or it can make you just, you know, create big disbelief in yourself and you just let yourself fall apart. So
that trauma went the other way for you, where you were like, because I didn't have a father growing up, I want to change that. Yeah,
I need to, because it's like I can't I don't play about my kids anyway. I don't play with my kids anyway.
Love that. That's good, because as much it should be the bare minimum, to be honest. But in our community, you have to reward it, to be honest.
There are a lot of good fathers, though.
There
are good fathers. I think it's under highlighted because of the over statistical opposite of people not, you know, of absent parents.
Yeah, because we are the highest statistics.
Yeah, so
when it comes to absent parent, so it means we're not doing good enough. That's what it means. Like, we need to do better. And we need to take accountability, especially the men. Stop blaming the women. I'm sorry, I have to say it because I seen my mom, seen what she had to do growing up. And I'm like, how dare you come for the women? Do you know what they have done, what they sacrificed to make sure this kid is good? And you're going to be like, why did you open your legs? Nah, stop it.
That's silly.
Single mothers to me are super women. Now, like, even women, like, being able to do things themselves is already hard. Now you have a kid that you have to be responsible for with no father around.
Single mothers are superheroes. I look at my mom. Single mothers are superheroes.
Honestly.
Like, they play both roles. They hold the house. I've seen kids that have grown up just with their mom and the nurture these women have poured into their children. You would never believe that a father was missing.
Yeah.
I'm saying to you, so sometimes it goes that way, but generally, full stop, single parents are like superheroes.
Yeah.
Especially single moms, because that's a madness. You
know
get what I'm saying? That is a madness. You get what I'm saying? And obviously, like, for me, again, as a parent, like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm always learning how to become better, because you said everyone, you can't emulate what you haven't seen before.
Of course.
So I'm kind of learning on the job
trying
and trying to make less mistakes as possible. But, but I know that it's still a learning thing. I'm still going, is it? Oh, is that how that's done? Okay, now I get it, because I don't have an experience of it.
Yeah.
So when my kids growing up, I'm reliving my childhood with them, because I didn't have the childhood they had. So I'm like, oh, this is what I was supposed to do at your age.
Yeah.
Okay, now it makes sense.
Well, that's the right mindset. But in regards to that, obviously you got the great mindset with the kids. What about marriage?
Oh yeah, marriage is something that I'm definitely on board with.
Yeah.
I never used to ever think about it. I used to think, I'm getting married. What's this? It's a scam. What are they talking about? It's a scam.
Okay.
But now I can't wait to get married.
Yeah? Oh, that's nice. This is perfect.
Yeah, now I can't wait to get married.
You're really breaking all the molds of UK men, aren't you?
You know, I'm just maturing. I think I'm maturing, and I'm learning how to, I think emotional intelligence is a big thing. I'm learning how to sort of like be more in that space, and now I understand the sanctity of like marriage.
Okay.
I understand why it's a sacrament.
What made you realize it?
When you have like preconceived notions or just perspective on relationships and companionships to be negative, and you've not had an example of seeing, like, I think, how much of my friends are actually married? You get what I'm saying? No one's married. It's just like, I look in my community, I said to people, when was the last time you went to a wedding? It's like, time ago, but this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, see this wedding thing. So it's like growing up in those communities, you're seeing it. And then you see the examples of the people that's married, but he's just on a madness. Or she's doing a madness. You're like, but they're supposed to be married though. What's going on there?
Yeah.
So all these examples that maybe don't encourage you to want to be that way, it kind of made me think, it would never happen. But once I had healthy relationship or understood what it's like to want to be healthy in a relationship, I never even knew what that meant.
Are you dating right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. So
you're gonna want to marry?
I'm on full marriage right now. I'm not anyone like if you're not married, just like I just looked over.
I love that. I love that for your girl. I absolutely love it. Because
now I'm on that because I'm at a stage in my life where it's like, I'm still young, and I was a young parent, which I used to think I would say, I can't believe I had kids so young, but it's worked out better because my kids are like, I'm a young parent and my kids are grown, and it's like, we're still just like brethren. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? And I have an opportunity now in the next phase of my life to try and establish myself, as a man and my legacy, etc. And you can't do that by yourself. And if you're fortunate enough to meet a counterpart that is your person and ticks all your boxes and you tick theirs, like, what's the point? What are we messing around for? What are we wasting time for? Like, what's going on?
You've gone for a lot of maturity. You don't even sound like you're from the UK. Because UK guys would be like, I don't want to marry her. She's going to take half, but you ain't even got half for her to take.
You ain't got half for her to take.
I'm not going to what assets are you trying to protect, my guy? Because I'm not really hearing it.
So I can't wait to get married. So it's like, I'm like, definitely get married.
So would you say it came from your partners showing you what a healthy relationship kind of looks like, sort of thing? Yeah,
it comes from someone showing you that, and also you just having an understanding, as a man, when we heard this saying, behind every great man, there's a great woman. I used to be one of people that roll my eyes, like, whatever, man, like, behind every great man, of course, and whatever, of course they say that, but I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong. The role that a strong woman plays in your life is priceless, especially for an ambitious man, for a motivated man, for a man that sees himself, in a certain light and carries himself with a lot of importance. Having the right woman is important because the way she empowers you and charges you up, she puts a fire in your belly that your brethren can't put in your belly. I don't care if you're your best friends, I don't care what they say to you. Your woman, the kind of fire your woman can put in your belly, like, babe, go get it. It's a whole different It's a whole different thing, especially when the love is pure and it's real. And you've got to understand, it's like, I say, like, before I might have been in dynamics where I never understood myself, for example. So it's something simple like, am I speaking a loud tone all the time? But that's that whole thing of thinking, if I speak louder, I'm going to be heard clearer. That's part of the insecurity and the trauma response of maybe just growing up with loud voices in my house. So it's like, but then you learn that when you're speaking to your person, or you're dealing with your person, it's all soft gloves. Because that's what's effective. Because, like, if I'm with somebody and we're in love and that's what it is and it's pure, everything has to be dealt with through that tunnel. Regardless of what the situation is. I'm not saying don't be inhuman and be, don't have no emotions. I mean, however, when you're communicating with that person, you have to remember, actually, this is someone that I love and someone that actually loves me and wants the best for me.
Okay.
So let me talk instead of attacking. So it's little things like that I learn how to tweak because I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm not perfect. I never knew how to be in a relationship or how to conduct myself, or I never knew how to let go of some traumas or insecurities. You know, like you might, you know,
you sound like someone that's gone through a lot of healing.
I'm still healing. I'm still healing now. There's a lot because I come from a different life. What would you say
you were healing from?
It's coming from a life where the doctrines that you were shown was all false. The doctrines was all sort of like, I'll give you a prime example. You probably heard this from the guys before. No one talks to me like that. It's like, bro, that's not what this is. It's the brush you apply to everyone. I might have come from a life that we're using fear to sort of manipulate and control people. So therefore, how people speak to you, you're not realizing that that's not even a real interaction. Okay. So you then grow up thinking, oh yeah, that's, people don't talk to, like, people don't deal with me a certain way. It's like, bro, people, you've not had nothing real in your life because you're in an environment where it's based on fear and all this other stuff. So you're not even having genuine interactions. Wow. You don't even know how you're supposed to be spoken to. Powerful. So when this woman or this lady that you're with speaks to you in a way where she's just sounding assured and assertive, you're all shocked. Like, what you mean? I don't normally get spoken to like this. It's like, my guy, then you need to really look at how you've come up, because you know what I'm saying to you. Yeah. So some things that are normalized in my teenage years, I realized that it was all rubbish, man. It's all a lot of rubbish. Like, and that doctrine. So it was like more built on like ego. Yeah, built on
rather
ego.
Than actually communicating and like actually connecting with someone.
Actually, yeah, all of that, and because nothing is genuine, you know. And I had a lot of like misconceptions about just interaction based on just the limited interaction I'd had. Then you start to go out into the world and meet people and have many other interactions, and you realize, hold on a minute, nah, man, that's not how. Nah, this is okay. Now then it starts making sense to you once you break out your environment, because you can't change anything unless you change the environment. Once I changed my environment, I realized that a lot of cobwebs I had was just like, oh my gosh, I can't just say, it was like, I need to get these cobwebs off. So it's just been a journey to try and.
So change your environment, do you mean like going from Lewisham to?
Yeah, just sort of like, change. You can't change who you are until you change your environment.
Yeah.
You cannot change you. So one of the things what happened is when I went to prison, you know, my mom was hell bent on me not coming back to the same area. She had moved areas before I came out of prison. So when I came out of prison, I had to be in the area that my mom lived in, which was a different area from Lewisham, which was perfect for me in that sense. So I was already out of the environment.
So you felt like you could heal.
So then you could start healing.
Have time to not like block out the noise. And actually find out who you are and actually give space for healing. Because I think that's what happens to a lot of people in our community. They grow up in that trauma, and the trauma is literally all they know.
You can't heal where you was traumatized.
Yeah.
That's just the part. You can't be, because that's the thing about our community. A lot of people were trying to heal in the same place where the trauma was caused. It's difficult. There's trigger points everywhere. How do you heal? Like your emotions are like this because you're still in the same place.
So what about people that don't have the financials to move out from ends or something?
Now, here's the thing about it. Again, knowledge is power, right? Understanding yourself comes from acquiring more knowledge and learning about self. That in itself could start you on a journey of how to make that transition.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Obviously, look, I don't have all the answers. I just know what worked for me. And I think information, for example, like I knew my kids couldn't grow up in London. So I made arrangements for them not to be, my kids they don't know what.
That's a good idea. I've always said that I'm not having kids in London.
They don't even know what living on a council estate feel like. And, you know, God willing, they'll never get to know what that feels like. It's just a whole different life. So but the knowledge let me know that, because sometimes I might have thought I can achieve the same thing with them in the same environment. But, you know, acquiring and learning stuff, let me know, okay, cool, no, get your kids out of there. Okay. So I was fortunate enough to be able to make certain steps to make sure like I can ring fence and protect my kids from things that affected me when I was younger, etc. But again, it's not all smooth and all perfect. These things still come with challenges, hurdles, mistakes, learning. Yeah. But the main thing is you have to keep growing.
Love that. So can we speak to the mandem here that are not trying to marry their woman, not trying to... Marry is like the biggest thing for me, because I feel like marriage is like the foundation to then having kids. That's what I believe. So what would you say to the mandem that they feel like it's not right, they don't believe in it, or why would we marry these women? That's what you hear them say, like, what's she doing for me? Like, do you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, I'm not, this is the one they always say, I'm not ready. Bro, you're not ready. You are in your 30s. You're going to reach retirement home with, like, you're going to have no one. Do you get it? You're not ready and you'll be carrying walking stick in retirement home. Like, come on.
Yeah, now I think everybody progresses at different speed, innit? But for the man them, I want to verify, being in a loving relationship with somebody that you trust, somebody that's got your back, somebody that you got their back, and this, that, and the third, it's priceless, it's important, and it's how clear it keeps your head, etc. So I would definitely advise the brothers, if you're with a woman, you've been in for a while, you're saying that's your person, that's your heart, that's your rib, like you don't play about her, marry her, bro. You get me? Just marry her.
Period. Because why are you wasting her time? Auntie's in this relationship for 6 years. You don't want to marry her. What kind of... And it's like, you're living together.
Yeah.
You're doing all the stuff married people do together. So what else are you waiting for? That's what personally I don't understand. And me, I want to wear ashobi. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, of course.
Like the
of
African
course,
attire. And I really, even me, I'm kind of scared that I don't think I'll find my husband in
don't
the UK.
Say that.
Bro, these men don't want to get married. They keep saying they're not ready because they're hustling or whatever. Like, UK, I've given up. I'm going to Nigeria.
I've heard that about UK.
I'm going to Nigeria.
What, is that the energy? Is that the energy that UK guys are just?
Yeah, like I feel like they always say, "Oh, I'm focused on whatever they're focused on," not to really lock in with their women. Personally, I don't even give them time. Yeah, like when you say you're not ready, I beg. I don't even bother talking to you because I'm not gonna make you see me as a priority. Do you know what I mean? So I just leave it. But a lot of UK guys, that is the rhetoric where they feel like they're not ready. And I do kind of get it. I do get being a man is quite difficult in the UK because I feel like men don't really have a lot of things to encourage their masculinity. So things like the mother automatically gets the child in a lot of cases. I feel like that makes it a lot difficult, especially for women that are a bit they're not the most straightforward, women that want to use the kid to kind of get back at the men. So I do get that sometimes it is a bit more difficult for the men, and maybe that's why they kind of see all this marriage and cohabiting and all this stuff as kind of like, you know what, we don't have power. But I just feel like, look at you. It does work. As long as there's like some partnership, because there are great women, like you said, they're great women that will work with you.
Yeah.
And they will recognize, that the system maybe favors me, because the woman is probably going to get the house, he's going to get the kids. But you know what? Because I love you and I want to support you, we're going to make sure we do this together. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely, togetherness and companionship definitely makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're going to make sure more UK men get married. Maybe then I'll start taking you guys seriously. But
you said you're going to Nigeria, so yeah.
I can't lie, I'm already locked in with Nigerian men. They're providers. They are like, the only thing with Nigerian men is the emotional intelligence. They're not the most emotionally intelligent. That's one thing I have to give to our UK guys. They are quite emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
Like,
see, there's always a compromise.
Yeah. Maybe I need 2 husbands. Maybe I need an emotionally intelligent.
You see, don't start saying all of that. Don't start saying all of that. That's crazy. You see, if we said 1, 2 wives everywhere, you know we're going to have a heart attack.
Do you get it? But yeah, let's talk a bit about your music. Obviously, have you ever been signed?
Yeah.
Okay, how was that? Because you've dropped a lot of music, quite being independent, because you're not signed right now, are you?
No, right now.
What was that, being signed and being independent?
Being signed was cool, man. Like, you know what it was? I was quite fortunate with my deal. When I signed the deal 2020 actually, I got signed during COVID. And I probably spent 2 years sort of learning the business. I think that's one of the things I wanted to be, to be included into my deals. Like, I get to work alongside the team and learn all the departments and learn all the different things. So that was quite cool. I was signed to Big Indie. It's actually an American label.
Okay.
but they set up offices in the UK, and I was one of their flagship artists. So that was cool. That was really nice. You know, met some really nice people. Learn a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Why I can be independent the way I am now.
Okay.
But it wasn't a record deal as in...
But do you like being independent?
I love it. I think I was independent then because I had a joint enterprise with the label. So it wasn't necessarily like they signed me and, you know, there is some big advance and rare one. It wasn't that type of situation. It was like there was money on the table, but, you know, more towards the marketing end. And let's work this budget together, and then we could both eat on the back end. And it worked exactly like that.
Okay.
So yeah, which was kind of different, but it was quite good. I was able to sort of learn this circus industry of ours.
You call it a circus?
Oh, it's a circus, man.
Because there's like the mainstream stuff, and then there's kind of like I would say like your music, I wouldn't say is mainstream, is it?
No.
Why would you even say that? Why do you think your music isn't really the mainstream stuff?
Because, you know, music is like, it's like fast food now, isn't it? It's what you're interested in. And you get the people that they just probably go on their digital stores and just look for a playlist and just run through whatever the playlist is. You know, it might be a Rap UK playlist, it might be an Amapiano playlist. There's that being specific of that's my artist, I want to listen to it. There's probably very few artists that you look at like that. And oh my gosh, when the album drops, I'm going to listen to it. So I think my music is more niche that the market share is big. So I worked out very early on that my music's not for everyone.
Okay.
However, there are the people that it's for, and I'm going to only concentrate on creating it for them.
Would you want to go a bit more commercial?
What does that mean?
As in for a wider audience?
100%. I think audience is subjective, innit? I think audience is subjective. I think once you start looking at it like that, the risk is a lot of artists start feeling like they haven't done enough based on, oh, my music is not with the wider audience and whatnot. I think ultimately music is about lasting the test of time. So all I really think about when I'm putting music out is in 10 years from now, am I going to listen back to this and go, oh my gosh, what's this? Or is someone going to look at this years from now? That's why I'm always confident for someone to go listen to the music, because I know that, okay, I led with my best foot. And naturally, what you're saying in your music, a lot of musicians probably sometimes don't get this. It's like, it's not for everybody. People are allowed to say, I don't like that, or it's not for me. It's not really my cup of tea. That's okay, because if you're out here trying to make music for everybody, are you really an artist?
Okay.
But if your music resonates with everybody, then that's amazing. You feel what I'm saying to you? So yeah, I wouldn't say mainstream. I think my music is more a channel when I do. I'm not really a musician. I'm a channeler.
Okay, that's interesting.
And you can only channel to people that's spiritually open for it. So,
yeah. Okay. I mean, you've dropped like diss tracks and stuff, haven't you?
Have I dropped diss tracks?
Well, you had is it with Joe Black?
Oh, those aren't diss tracks. That's a sport. We was just going back and forth. Yeah, we're actually friends, so we're going back and forth.
Oh, okay.
But I think when you put it into the Colosseum, which is the internet, and everybody understands cow. It can seem like it's really like the whole time we're friends. We're just.
Oh, so you guys are cool.
Yeah, we're super cool. Yeah, we're friends.
Is it?
That was
There's me thinking these men don't fuck with each other.
Nah, man. Joe, come on, man. Black is cool. Black is he's one of my goats, one of my UK legends of that. It's like, I would still still play his music now.
Yeah.
So that's just like, when you go toe to toe musically, it's a sign of respect. It's him showing me a sign of respect. Like, okay, let me see what you've got then. And it's me showing him a sign of respect. Like, okay, cool, I got this. You get it?
Yeah.
But for the audience, the pantomime, they want it to be something more than that.
More than that.
And they get upset when they're like, what? It's not real. What? It's not real. It's not. Well, they ain't got beef. We wanted to see some low vibration stuff, man. Damn, these guys ain't gonna give us that, man.
I can't lie, I do like a bit of diss track. I'm not gonna like, because I do, because I'll be honest, not because I like low vibrational stuff. I feel like when people are emotionally charged, I feel like they create a very good body of work. Like Chip and Bugsy days, that was a very good body of work. And to me, I feel like I'm happy with you guys like squashing your beef, because I don't want you guys to actually beef.
Yeah.
I like it to be like, you're charged and you drop it on a pen. Do you get what I mean? And I feel like the stuff that I've seen that's been created when people are like dissing each other, I feel like it's really good.
It is really good. When you're emotionally charged, you make the best music. You do, you know, your productivity is, yeah.
But leave it at the music,
Leave it at the
because
music,
that's
then.
what I don't agree with, when they now take it at the music and they're pulling up at each other. I'm like, no, we don't need to do all of that.
Obviously, forget all that. But sometimes the audience creates these scopes and these pathways where some artists, unfortunately, just end up walking in it or falling for it. You know, because even when I was, you know, me and, you know, Joe Black was having the clash, there were the people that they just wanted it to be like a real incident. And then when it's like, okay, well, it's not a real incident, it's like, but it was also confusing to me, like, well, why would you not want it to be a real incident? I don't understand. But
it makes good music. I'll be honest, I'm a consumer, and I do kind of like
it's ruined.
it.
Let me be clear, it's ruined in the sense of,
but you don't like.
I think I'm colder than you, or you think you're colder. It's ruined that sense.
Oh, okay.
Like, okay, cool. Let's find that then.
Yeah.
It's ruined that sense. You get what I'm trying to say to you. And me, I'm very what's the word? I haven't mastered the art of disrespect yet. I've never been able to master that. I'm not reactive, but I'm not one of them effing and blinding. I'm not a name calling.
Yeah.
I never was like that kid. I'm still, you know, I'm very, you know, from West Africa, we're very reserved. We're very, it's a lot of mannerisms, and I might give you a look and you know, it says 1,000 words, or I might, you know, your mum might kiss her teeth when she's pissed with you, or you know, when I used to go home, man, I know my nan's upset without her saying nothing. I could just read the whole language. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to get some licks today, where she's gonna bust my head because I've come home late. So, so I still haven't mastered the art of disrespect. So I wouldn't say I'm not good at diss tracks.
Diss tracks, okay.
Yeah, because I
was gonna say, because you have been in a few beefs and stuff, and I feel like it would be good if you wrote music about it. Because you're an artist at the end of the day. I feel like it would be good. Because I don't like people fighting on the internet. I like to listen to bars. I want to hear that you dissed maybe his boy, but lyrically.
You never know. I might have some diss tracks on the way. You never know. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. I'm not. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's right. So obviously musically, but unfortunately, a lot of the time, sometimes I've had, you know, them interactions online is not with necessarily another artist. It's always someone, because my brand's got so much different branches to it. It's always, but I would love a situation where someone's like, okay, let's just go some song. You want to go back and forth?
Spray is an artist.
Yeah, but he's not musically.
True, he's
not doing music
like
at the moment, so it's like it's not. There's nothing there. I remember music is like. Here's the thing about it. I use football because I used to kick ball 10 years ago. It doesn't mean you can wake up today and play football. You have to train. You have to practice. You have to still do all those things. You're not match fit because you was match fit 10 years ago. Do you get what I'm saying? So again, I think the audience sometimes don't get that. You know, with artists, you have to work at it. It's like an exercise, stamina. You got to build into it. So yeah.
Yeah, I hear it. Well, yeah. I mean, I would have liked to see it. Maybe if Spray. Do you think if he's still capable of writing something, would you like respond lyrically?
No.
No. You're just not on the.
Yeah, I'm just I want to stay where the light is.
I love that.
I just want to stay away from anything that's dark.
Yeah. But would you ever make up with him?
I'm a man of God, you know. I'm open. I ask for forgiveness every single day. So there's no way I could be closed up to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I ask for forgiveness every single day, like, because I make mistakes daily.
So would you like kind of chat to him on a let's just squash this sort of thing? Would you ever?
Let's just say there's nothing to squash.
Yeah?
Yeah, nothing to squash. It's not serious like that.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not. Okay. Again, like I said to you, the internet makes everything look a certain type of way. It's not really a situation.
Is it? I mean, he said something recently. Because he said that he wasn't even mad about the situation that happened. I don't want to talk about it, but it was kind of how you've moved after the situation.
Yeah, you see what it is? I think someone in my position, it's like I have to get used to letting people have their opinions, and not every opinion I have to sort of speak on or add clarity to, because you know that's basically if you start doing that, then you're telling people they're not allowed to think what they want. And then that means then don't operate in a public space then, innit? How about you should have walked badly then, innit? Or you can't say you should have hit your face, you know? So I'm okay with hearing different opinions from different people. And sometimes I might choose to sort of like speak on some things, but there are loads of things I just choose to just let it be where it is because I am existing in the public space. I've been in this space for a decade.
Of course.
Like, so my life has been in that way. So there is a certain element about me that people can only know what they see on the internet. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So yeah, certain opinions, I'm not really thinking, but there's nothing you've seen on the internet that's a serious situation or like a real life. Like, this is all it's all just it just exists in the entertainment space, like that bubble. And outside of that, it doesn't exist today. It sounds like it's happening outside of that, but it's not happening outside of that. It's just an entertainment bubble.
But you're open to kind of
I forgive anybody, everybody. I make mistakes. Listen, I'm asking God for miracles every day, You see a man like me that's asking God for miracles, I cannot be on something. I will never forgive no one. No, I don't even know how to hold a grudge. That's one of my biggest weaknesses. If I feel some type of way, you're going to know it right here and there. I don't know how to walk away, sit on things, stew, come back. So I just say it, I get off, and then I walk away. I don't hold no grudges after that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to interact in a way where I'm carrying darkness within myself. I have to just get the darkness out. If I feel it, I have to. And once it's out, I have to just stay back in the light.
Okay.
And sometimes it's like I unintentionally allow darkness into my space.
Because
and I realize
you're
after.
Quite direct when you speak, and I think you say certain things that you don't realize maybe triggers people.
Yeah, and that's why I have to be able to take it also when people say stuff. And I think if I wasn't that way inclined, I couldn't do what I'm doing. People say stuff all the time. Oh my gosh, everybody says stuff, all the time. You're gonna lose your mind if you sit around wondering about. I think once you know who you are and you're sure who you are, you have to be really sure of that and know that and hold on to that and realize that you're in the entertainment industry, bro. Like, people are gonna have opinions. You cannot be swayed by people's opinions. You cannot be controlled by people's opinions. I definitely am not giving that type of power to the audience.
Yeah, I love that. So you do it because it's what you want to do, sort of thing.
And they don't know that. And also, but it comes with like parameters and constraints, so I don't see everything that's happening on the internet because that's how I've set up my operation on the internet. I don't see everything that happens. I don't read every comment. I don't even look at my inboxes like that.
Oh, okay.
I know how to sort of like, because no matter how strong you are as a person, something can penetrate your mental if you don't set up the right safety measures in place. So 9 out of 10 times, not even 9 out of 10, probably 9.8 out of 10 times, I don't know what no blog post about me.
Yeah?
Because you can't tag me in a post.
Okay.
You can't at me, you can't tag me.
You're really kind of disconnect from all
yeah, because I have to be like that because I do so much stuff. People have so much opinions. You can become confused out here, like on what you're supposed to be doing if you're all day listening to that. In the earlier stages, you are just kind of like reading through comments, trying to. But I had to realize to myself, me looking through comments and stuff and trying to work out what people are saying, and that's a sense of like, there's obviously something, there's a lack of obviously within me that I'm trying to get validation for. So that's why I'm actually checking this stuff and then I'm putting weight on it and I'm consumed by it. But this was years ago. Now, my validation can't come from that. It never just would matter because you got to remember, people that don't know you are not supposed to have the right idea about you. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
So if you have the wrong idea about me and you don't know me, that's fine.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It can't be, how could she say that about me? She doesn't know me. Of course she thinks that because she saw A and B.
Yeah.
She thinks it's C. I can't be mad at you for having an opinion based because you don't have enough information. People behave the way they behave based on the information now.
I mean, there is something out there.
Yeah, but
that has been, because a certain person wants to have a physical alteration.
That's over and done with as well.
Oh, that's done?
That's over and done with.
What do you mean by that?
It's not going to happen. I mean, people that are interested, they can go and look at his page. He's obviously said what he said in terms of like, it's over and done with. It's over and there's nothing going on my end. Again, this is what I'm saying to you. The internet could have real life consequences.
No, I'm pretty sure he said he wants to do it like the Travelers.
So, no, that's not over and done.
And actually do...
That's over and done.
Fist fight.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Update yourself, yeah. It's the internet. It's like a...
Okay.
You could get caught up in it within that week. It could be like, oh my days.
Yeah.
Now you crash out and then the week later it's over.
So you guys are cool now?
I'm cool with everybody. Like, I'm like,
You keep saying that. Are you both cool?
I'm cool with everybody. Like, I got nothing but love in my heart. and love for
Does he
anyone
know
that shows
that?
me love. Everyone knows like all I come with is love. Like I'm known, like my energy, like it's always been the same. That's one thing about me. I never change. You know what? Tell you the
So have
same.
you guys had a communication maybe behind the
I've not
scene?
communicated with no one. I think when I feel aggrieved by stuff, I just talk to God.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like God will always provide me with the right answers and solutions and the calmness that I need to proceed. Because ultimately, I'm not in control. So even if I think about doing like, I could think I want to get up now and go to the fridge to get some water. God has to give me permission to do that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're quite religious.
Well, now, yeah, I've always been religious, but I'm closer to God now than I've ever been. And I know that for some people, I mean, you reach a stage in your life, innit? And I want to be the best version of myself. And the only way I can do that is be closer to God. And then also, like, you get tired of making the same mistakes over and over. You get tired of going around in circles. I'm a person, I've made tons of mistakes. That's why I never see myself as a role model. I always think to myself, don't look at me as a role model because I've got so much mistakes. And you get to a point in life where you just want to evolve in it. And part of it, my evolution right now is just letting go of certain inhibitions, whether it's pride, ego, this, that. I'm learning. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
But I'm learning to kind of let go of that. And what I'm learning is when going through the process is difficult, but when I get to the other end, I feel quite elated. And it is nice to have, my son say to me, yeah, Dad, I like how calm you're being, Dad.
Oh, that's nice.
And I'm like, oh, yes, that's the
And it's nice
that's
to
the
see
victory.
that obviously you've come from prison and now you've come out, you're doing a lot more motivational speaking. Even like the partnership with Molly's, where you were
you
giving
know
up
about
to
that.
yeah, of course. You were obviously given to the community. And I do always see you always putting in business tips out there to really kind of empower the community, which is it's really nice to see. What would you say kind of was that switch in your mindset?
I think it's knowing that you took away from that community.
Oh, that's deep.
It's knowing that you actually really took away from that community. You got to think like, and that's an accountability thing. When I was younger, I was a bit of a little, you get what I'm saying? I took away from the community, and here's what's
Now,
worse.
what do you mean about you took away from the
Me,
community?
it was worse about it. I always knew better. I was one of those kids that disrupt the class for everyone else, but go home and do the homework.
Okay.
That me and my friends all got kicked out of school, but I still left to 10 GCSEs.
Right.
Because I went back and said, can I just come and do my exams?
Yeah.
I went back and done the exams. So there's an element of always trying to find my way. And for the early part of the adolescent years, I just interacted the wrong way.
Okay.
My output was wrong. I added trauma into my community.
Oh.
Like really added trauma into my community. I thought that's how it was supposed to be. So when you get to the other part, there's a accountability, not a guilt. There's a survivor's guilt I have.
Oh.
I can't just be like, away living off my life.
I feel like it's like a therapy session. Oh my God.
And like I can't be up living off my life, and it's like, and then have the audacity to be online posting maybe the good stuff. Oh my gosh, look at me, guys! Now, guys, of transition, I'm living, and it's like, but bro, it's like you did a lot of damage over there.
Oh,
Are you doing anything about that?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying to you? Or a young person reaches out to me from there, like I need help, and I'm just I don't know how to be like, nah, man, I don't care, man. That's my past. I don't care about that no more. I'm doing this now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, imagine when you needed help, bro. Imagine that you had someone like yourself that you turned to, and they just said.
So you helping the young ones as well?
Yeah. So basically, I've been delivering a program, because this is the stuff people don't know about. I got a program that I've been getting delivered in prisons and schools for nearly the last decade. It's a program based on comfort blankets and transferable skills.
Okay.
Initially, I was just doing all the charities, and I was given the clearance to go into prisons and stuff. So, and then I extended to schools and university. Transferable skills is self-explanatory. Is looking at the environment we come from and understanding that, like I can look at a kid that is, say he's done a burglary. I can highlight all the skill sets he uses in that burglary and show him how that same skill set works in a corporate space.
Right.
I can show how, explain how those skills are transferred. And then the comfort blankets is about the things you tell yourself in order not to fully apply yourself. It's never going to work because I'm black, or it's never going to work because I'm this. I'm never going to be able to achieve this because all this rhetoric it's been instilled in us. And then it just enables us to just not apply ourselves. And I was one of those people. I had 100 excuses. I'll tell you, why didn't you do this? I got an excuse for everything. Those are the comfort blankets.
I hear it.
And once you get rid of that and you apply transferable skills, I feel like that's the start of making your transition. So I've been delivering that program, and also being an ex-offender, I just look at some of the skill sets I use to sort of like make a transition. And obviously still make mistakes, like I said. So I've been delivering that into the prisons and the schools and stuff, just trying to like, do my little bit type thing. So yeah, so I've been running that program for like nearly a decade. What I'm in the process of doing now, if I can get it accredited and get it put in a probation service, so that I don't have to deliver it myself so much, I can do is training course for facilitators, and then they can go ahead and do it, run the course, and so they can make it more widespread. So that's what I'm kind of hoping can happen next.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the course is supposed to teach?
Yeah, it's supposed to teach you how to do it, try how to transfer skills, especially young people coming from that. Like, because one of the consistent things you deal with from that is, well, what else am I going to do? This is all I know.
Yeah.
What else am I going to do? This is all I know. So, I can show a successful drug dealer how he can run a Fortune 500 company. Those skill sets you use to do that, prepare product, get it ready, tag it for sales, market it, get it out there, separate profit, reload, blah, blah, blah.
I've always said this, these are drug dealing, it is business skills. And I think people don't really talk about how it's just the fact that those kids just don't know where to apply the skills. Yeah. So they've obviously got leadership skills, organization skills, but because the opportunities that they grew up with or what they see around is, well, the only option I have is the road. So they kind of just go down that path where obviously it ends up either in jail or whatever. But it's good that people like you are stepping up to say, you know what, you're a very skillful person, so let's put it into something productive. And I think if we can see more of that in the community, it would really help, especially young people, where I think they've made it cool. Like, it's like, it's cool to do crime. And it's like, not really, actually. It's cool to be a 9-to-5er. It's cool to
be free and alive.
Guys, that's powerful. It is cool to be free and alive. Mad.
That's the coolest thing ever. Nothing cooler than that. Nothing cooler than that. You get me? Because, like, one of the things is, like, prison's a horrible place, man. Let's just put it like that. Like, in the sense of, not people think about the physical horribleness. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the mental reality of what you're in. You're living like an animal, essentially. You're in a cell where you can touch every wall. You sleep where you use the toilet. Slide things for underneath your door. Like, you're inhumane. You're just a number. No one cares.
Wow.
It's a wing full of numbers. We're all just numbers. Our parents, gave birth to us in this world with decreased to a number. They call your number before your name.
Mad.
Before your name. 84372AJ Vic.
Crazy.
They start with a number.
And that's the reality. That's what they want for Black kids as well. They want them to end up there, and we have to do better to help.
And prison
them.
is a business, guys. So it's like, I'm not going to. Prison's a business, yeah. And they used us. I'll give you a prime example. You have prisons that have warehouses in it, right? They call these prisons working prisons. The idea is that we're going to get you to work in this warehouse. This is part of you being here. But here's what we're going to do. The prison take contracts with the business. Now, you can set up your warehouse in it. We've got staff, endless, and you can pay them peanuts.
Basically, free labor.
You can give them £7 a week.
Yeah.
And they will work and do more for you than the whole shop floor you got outside.
I heard someone say it's the modern slavery.
It's the modern slavery. So you're in this place. So check it out now. And this is just simple maths. For the guy that's out here, so let me speak for myself. I'm out here talking about, man's never working. Man's never this. Man's never that. As a teenager, and then go to prison, you're working for like £5, £4 a week. And then you have to ask yourself, Wow, this actually does not make no sense.
£5 a week, is that what they make you do?
You're working for £4 or £5 a week. You're working for, it's mad.
What kind of work they make you do?
Whether it's cleaning job, they have a limit to what you get paid. So no matter what you try to do, you're still below minimum. You're not even nowhere next to minimum wage. Yeah?
That's crazy.
£1 something a day.
Yeah.
And then guess what's mad about that? You're asking for these jobs. You're like, can I just get a job?
Wow.
And then you have to realize to yourself, hold on a minute, I'm finished.
Yeah.
I said I'll never work. The jobs that are paying me £8 an hour, £9, whatever, no, like I don't want to work for the minimum wage. But I'm here working for £4 a week.
For real.
Now I need to change my life when I get out, because this don't make no sense. So it's almost like I didn't conform out there. I waited to get here to be downgraded to this point, then conform and say, yeah, nah, cool guys, I'll take £4 a week. But on road, you don't want to work nowhere else. You said that was the waste man thing.
Yeah.
So these are the rhetorics that we have to dissemble. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, yeah.
So that's just like a prime example of things that hit me, and I'm just like, yo, bro, why you just hope you remember this moment. Yeah, swoop in this landing for £3 a week.
Mad.
When you get out, you better do something in your life. I don't want to hear that speech about I don't want to work. I'll just do the roads. Yeah. He's working for £3 a week. Allow it, bro. Get a job when you get out. What are you talking about?
Like you're talking to a lot of mans out here.
Yeah, it's like don't.
I hope you lot are listening for real.
Don't like, please, just because everybody in there the same place. It's called it's a working prison.
Yeah.
You work or you got no electric. So you might say yes. Then after a couple of days, you're like, football's on. Now, hey, yo, you press the bell. Yeah, let me get that job. You know, it's £3 a week, and yeah, please, I don't mind. I'll take it £3 a week. I'll take.
Crazy.
So you know, so my thing is, I waited to lose everything to conform. That don't make no sense.
Mad. Crazy.
Yeah,
I feel like I've learned a lot from this. First of all, I've learned like how different you actually are. Like actually getting to speak beyond the other stuff that you see online. Like you're actually quite a deep person.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and I hope people will see more of that layer to you because it's quite refreshing. Like I feel educated, to be honest. But yeah, no, and I have to just say, well done for the work you're doing for the community. I feel like we don't appreciate people like you enough because it is work that needs to be appreciated. Like helping our young Black kids out there to find a better route. It's so important. Our community literally needs it. So yeah, no, thank you for all you do.
Man. I appreciate you for having me, and keep doing your thing, keep winning. We need all the queens out there with their crown on. And keep your crown on. Don't let no one make you tilt it. Don't let the audience make you tilt it. Put that crown on. And every time you walk past a mirror, check it.
Oh, period. I'm going to keep my Nigerian queen crown on.
Yeah, every time you walk past a mirror, check it. I'm a queen, yeah?
Love
don't ever lose that
that
energy.
Oh. So guys, we're going to bring it to an end because we can just keep talking. There's a lot of positivity in this. I'm loving this. But guys, we're going to bring it to an end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have been educated as much as I feel like I have. Guys, if you have any questions for Vic, please put it in the comments. Guys, it really helps me. Like, I don't want you to just watch it and just duck off. I want you to engage, you know? I want to like, subscribe, comment. Like, I know you feel like it doesn't mean anything, but it actually really does. And it helps me keep going. So yeah, please support your girl, guys.
So some support, man.
Yeah, man. And guys, I will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Peace.